Well, I'm back. For now. I don't know for how long, but let's hope that we stay on steady for a little bit. Just don't know what's going to happen here. Let's see what we can do here. The Gary Russen program back on the air here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. It's 13 minutes past 3 o'clock Central, past 4 East, past 1 in the Pacific. And I'm Gary J. Russen. Welcome back to the Gary Russen program. This is DJRB's original news talk program, and while we got knocked off the air, I was spreading my show about across the social sites and doing a little here and there, and let's see, maybe we can get an audience despite the and synchronize with my media there. So that the brakes go off right at the time when I want them to, and the automation. But it got so bad that I had to kill my automation because there was no point in running automation when we kept getting knocked off the air. So we're on steady for now. Let's just see what we can do with that. You got the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online, and since we got knocked off the air, in that last segment, we're going to do 45. We're going to continue our 45 minutes of nonstop talk. We're going to pick up right where we left off here, and we were doing scroll through social media. So let's do it.
Let's scroll through social media.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. That's where I go through all social sites, picking up news stories along the way. And I've got some notifications here left after right. I think it's all from Alex Jones. I haven't been on here for a while, so a lot of people, a lot of Alex Jones postings here. The writer's room posting and tweeting, look what just arrived. Filming starts less than 2 weeks. NBC's Timeless. Timeless is filming. They are filming, and it starts in less than 2 weeks, so yeah, my favorite show, Timeless, is going to be back. Jesse James. When did they dilute that history? Oh, man. But anyway, I'll be glad to see it back. It was pretty cool, yeah. So you hear silence every once in a while. We keep and still getting knocked off the air on and off. I don't know what's going on with this now. Our internet just seems to be dropping consistently. So if every once in a while you don't hear me, more chances are we got knocked off again. So, but I'm going to broadcast anyway. How is it? You got it. Anyway, let's see. I got my Skype open, folks, so you can join in. You could call me. You could talk to me in the chat room. I got that available. I've already did some spreading all about the sites. I'm going to go now to my Google, only because Google, I usually go there too. And I should even go into my Instagram, because I know a lot of Instagram might get some listeners there too. So I'm kind of doing that while I'm talking. I just kind of spread it about and see who's out there. Just kind of shuffling around. And so let's see here. Oh, yeah, the blasted internet, yeah. Anyway, well, lovely, magnificent, fantastic. So anyway, I called this title, The Internet Was Out, the Gary Russen program is back for now. I think it was pretty good. You know, every once in a while, I think maybe I do all my shows in titles with the air date. I do that only for myself, so I know what the show is. But every once in a while, they tell me, at least Spreaker has said a lot of times, to do interesting titles that attract attention. So, I mean, maybe so. I would imagine that would make a lot of sense. And since this is part of part 2, and since we got knocked off the air, and I had to restart over this part, I thought, why don't I just title it something goofy? Because instead of going part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because sometimes I do get tired of that, and I'm not really getting much listeners that way. So I thought, what I'm going to do the rest of this show is to make a title and make a statement or something. I know that my friend Rachel Ozzie Jarvis, and I hope maybe she's listening, does this quite often on hers. So I think maybe every once in a while just make a funny statement for a title. Just to get some attention somewhere. Let's see. Let's see. I'm going to go there. Okay, Google. Alright, Google. And I want to go to my I want to go to my Gmail. I want to go to my Google Plus. That's where I was headed. Google Plus. I want to go to Google Plus. And then I want to go in and share this show there. Okay. Maybe I get some audience here too. And you're in. And I want to reiterate, since we got knocked off the air, that last segment, because I was talking about the fact that there's a question that popped up. It was Weather Nation brought it up. What would you rather have? Daylight savings time all the time, or would you rather stay standard time and not change the time anymore at all every 6 months? What would you rather have that? Or would you rather just leave it alone, just change time every 6 months? I don't think it really hurts. See, they were doing that to remind people to change the batteries in their smoke alarms, and to to keep people on their toes. I think that there's a society where, I don't know, is this a lazy society or what it is, but no one wants. I mean, it doesn't take that much to change a freaking clock, for heaven's sakes. It only happens every 6 months. And I said before, it's a sign of spring. It's a sign of spring because, you have that feeling like, March, usually it's around March, isn't it? And you get that feeling of spring, and the daylight's longer, and it's stuff, I love it. I just don't see why. In my personal opinion, leave it alone. I don't care if I have to change my clocks back an hour or ahead an hour. I don't care. It doesn't bother me in the least. I don't care. I mean, just leave it be. Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to keep changing stuff? I don't know. But anyway, your opinion on that. And also, if you are you one that do you like? Would you have a gun if you still carry? Okay, let's say you have this incident happen in Texas, and the question I was posting here is, if you were to be able to get a gun for your protection. I can't have one because see, I have mental issues. Okay, so quite frankly, I don't have one. I don't care to. They give me the creeps anyway. But if you were to have a gun, would you get one to protect your home, your family? Or in a situation where they had this shootout at the at First Baptist Church, where there's in Sutherland, where innocent lives were lost. The whole family got wiped out because of this creep. I mean, I think this guy's a hero. He says he's not a hero. But in my personal opinion, he's a hero because he got this guy, okay? He chased this guy down. He shot this guy, apparently. Leg, arm, whatever. I don't know where he shot him. he did a good deed because he protected the church and the church, rest of the church members. It could have been 26. It's like Trump said. It could have been more. It could have been hundreds more. But again, it's gun control. It's government control. It's the left, and they're playing plug to deplete the surplus population. Very hateful people. So what do you think about that? This is some of the stuff we're talking about today on the Gary Russen program on GJRB Online on Spreaker. Meanwhile, let's go back, and I'm going to go back into my Facebook page. I was going to check here on Twitter, on Google Plus, and see if there's any latest headlines here. Here's a neat posting. This is from a guy named Justin. I think it's pronounced Wetsit. He's a Fox News opinion. If you are for gun control, then you are not against guns, because the guns will be needed to disarm people. Okay? They'll be needed to disarm people. So it's not that you are anti-gun. You need the police's guns to take away other people's guns. So you're very pro-gun. You just believe that only the government, which is of course so reliable, honest, moral, and virtuous, should be allowed to have guns. There is no such thing as gun control. There's only centralizing gun owners in the hands of a small political elite and other minions. From a guy named Stefan Molinox wrote that. Good point there. I like that. Here's an interesting one. If you get a gun in Japan, you first have to attend an all-day class and pass a written test, which will be held only once a month. He also must take a pass. He also has to take a pass in a shooting range class. Not a bad idea. There you go. Anyway, then you head over to a hospital for a mental test. You have to have a mental test, a drug test. Japan usually in that potential gun owners must affirmatively prove that they have mental fitness. So you're tested for mental, and you'll file with the police, and finally pass a rigorous background check for any criminal record or association with the criminal or extremist groups. And you will also be proud. If you're a member of an extremist group in Japan, more than likely you might not get that gun. If you're a member of an extremist group, and you will also be the proud new owner of your shotgun or air rifle. Just don't forget to provide the police with documentation on a specific location of the gun in your home. You have to let them know where your gun is in your house. You have to pick a place where you put your gun, and then you have to tell the police where it is. It's in Japan. Okay, there's your strict gun control right there. In Japan, they tell you got to tell the police where your gun is in your house. In Japan. How about that? Documentation specific location of your gun in your home is one requirement for a gun in Japan. They're requiring to say every 3 years. Was it every 3? I think it was. What was that? Every 3 years? What do you think of that? As a matter of fact, the police inspect the gun once a year, and you must retake the class exam every 3 years. Japan had 11 gun deaths Okay. Get that again. With these strictest rules, Japan had only 11 gun deaths in 2008, and the U.S. had 12,000. Think about that for a moment or two. Your comments are welcome. Gary Russen program here on GJRB Online here on Spreaker. If you want to get your input on that, I'm on Skype right now, Gary.Russen, or in the GJRB Spreaker public chat room, or on Twitter. You can tweet me. As long as we have internet, you can tweet me. You're welcome to do so. And give me your input on that. Love to hear from you. We'll read it on the air. And your comments are welcome on the Gary Russen program. Here on GJRB Online, the complete open show. And despite all internet issues, we're just keep on rolling here on GJRB Online. You can be part of the show, the Gary Russen program on Spreaker. And let's see, coming up in about a couple of minutes, we're getting close to 3:35 Central Time. I want to go ahead and think about getting weather on the 5s here real quick. I should check a couple more locations. We'll do that. I'm going to flip over to the other weather page. As I mentioned earlier, so because we kind of missed on the weather, so we're going to kind of do that in about 3 minutes. We'll do another weather on the 5s. And this is our non-stop talk here on GJRB Online on Spreaker, and we're just doing fun internet stuff today. Even though the internet keeps going down, we keep on pushing to do the show. And we keep getting knocked on and off the air a couple of times. We did, but I'm back. So we're going to continue and see what's going on here. Let's see, recent. Why am I not getting that? Okay, contacts, recent. Okay, I want to say here. Okay. All right. Okay, that's interesting. Just reading some things here. Let's see. I'm going to go by Skype open. It's ready for you to talk. Gary.Russen. Okay, and you can talk to me on Skype and go on the air despite the fact that we have this stupid internet issue. We keep dropping and coming back up. So if you hear silence from time to time and my words get cut out, or I'm repeating myself only because we keep getting knocked off the air. So that's the only reason why I'm repeating what I say sometimes, because in case I'm saying something and I go off, we get down and I'm off the air, when I come back up, at least you're not missing too much of what I'm saying. So that's why I do that. When I'm having internet issues on the air, I'll repeat myself what I'm talking about so you don't miss it. All right, let's see. I'm going to now set up because it's getting close, so why don't we just go ahead and do weather on the 5s right now. And let's see what we got here. Right, let's see. A series of storms off the Pacific will then bring some rain, gusty winds, and mountainous snow in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. And we got flash floods possible. Elsewhere, heavy snow is expected in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Minor coastal flooding as well will continue from Chesapeake Bay to Long Island in southern New England, the New England coast. And let's see, we have here some of the areas we're going to take a look. Let's have a look at northeastern North Dakota and see what your weather is right now. Northeastern North Dakota. This is from the Grand Forks, North Dakota, from the National Weather Service. Light snow for you guys. That's right. light snow for Grand Forks. This is going to continue to sink southward. It's going to move into the northeast, into the, oh boy. Let's see where, so I'm going to take a look at your, let's go and visit Grand Forks weather. I'm going to go over there. Grand Forks, North Dakota. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't seem to give me Grand Forks. Okay, let me see. I guess the Grand Forks ain't on there. What would be the nearest town from Grand Forks then? I'm going to take a look here, see. What would be the nearest town? Because all I see is Grand Forks, but it's southward. Grand Forks southward. And let's see what we have here. Langdon and Devil's Lake, Fargo. Let's go to, let's see what's going on in Fargo. Let's take a look at Fargo. I have had them on before. Now let's see. Fargo. Here we go. Fargo, North Dakota. Let's see what your forecast is. Let's take a look at Fargo. Oh man, Fargo, North Dakota is 23 degrees right now. And you guys, let's take a look here. I'm gonna wait till that flips over there. So, okay, here we go. You're under a special weather statement, and it is snowing in North Dakota, in Fargo, North Dakota, right now. It's snow. You guys are getting snow. Fargo, North Dakota, right now. Winds at north-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Your relative humidity is 75%, and your barometric pressure is at 30.24 inches and dropping. Right now, 8 degrees is predicted for tonight. Snow will continue to give way for clearing skies late, low of 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Winds out of north-northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour. Chance of snow there, 70%. Accumulation is less than an inch. In Fargo, people in Fargo. And let's see what that is. It goes up here. Area snow today. Lake effect snow tonight and Thursday for this area all around Fargo. Fargo, North Dakota. A band of light snow will continue to move southward through the area today, and this is going to taper off by mid to late evening. Most areas will receive an inch or less of snow, but since it will all fall during the after school and late afternoon rush time, it will have a higher impact. Slippery spots in secondary roads and intersections are possible, so use caution. I'm looking at your radar right now in that area. I'm going to go back to that page. Look at your traffic map. Looking at your radar right now, it's covered from Fargo clear up to around Ada. Well, let's see. I want to continue with all that. It keeps kind of popping up. Okay. All the way to Fargo and down now west of you in Valley City. And into Detroit Lakes, I like the name of that, and Frezzi, all covered at this point. You're getting snow in North Dakota. Oh boy, that's an indication of what we got coming up here. I don't know. Well, it's still kind of nice weather. It's a beautiful day today here in Clinton, Iowa, right now, and it is. Here in Clinton, our current temperature is at 46 degrees, 47 in New Rochelle, New York. Tuscola, Michigan is 44 degrees, and 59 degrees in Houston, Texas. Warmest spot so far I see is Tampa, Florida at 81, 75 in Los Angeles, 61 degrees in Denver, Colorado. And that is weather on the fives for now on the Gary Russen program. We'll do another weather on the fives later. as we continue. Whether on the fives, anytime during the Gary Russen program when we do freestyle like we are today, just flying at the seat of my pants, just having a good time, just whatever, whenever, just jagging around, just having a hoot, and just let it fly. It is, that's what we do sometimes. I just let it open, wide open for anything. Just having fun. That's what we're doing here. The Gary Russen program, and you can be part of it and have fun too. The Gary Russen program on GJRB Online. We're doing a scroll through social media, and we're kind of visiting Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. And I was doing that a while ago, so we're going to go back to that. And I'm back in Twitter. And if you are following me, you can be part of the show. I kind of go in here and I tweet and see if there's any followers on here. Okay. Come to think of it, I was thinking this earlier about daylight savings time. I remember when I was a kid back home in Pittsburgh, I remember the energy crisis. And during that time, we did have a point where we were on permanent daylight savings time. They did that because at the time they were thinking if you had daylight savings time, you wouldn't have the lights on so much, and you'd be able to conserve energy. And I remember this. And it was kind of nice, actually. I kind of liked that permanent daylight savings time. What do you think? Daylight savings time or standard? Your opinion. It's welcome here on the Gary Russen program. On GJRB Online, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll be right back, and we'll spread some questions around and see if we get some replies as we continue the Gary Russen program on GJRB. The Christmas lights are on and the music is playing for another bright holiday of programming. Join GJRB again this year for the best in holiday internet entertainment. From all-time Christmas favorites to classic radio programs from the golden days of radio, GJRB will keep you entertained with the best of the holidays. More American Christmas jukebox shows, the annual running of Campbell's Playhouse with Orson Welles and the radio version of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, starring Lionel Barrymore as Scrooge, along with Christmas episodes of your favorite classic radio shows. Then, New Year's brings you another Gary Russen year-end review show, remembering the best of the Gary Russen program in 2017. I'll be bringing you the best clips of GRP from January to December. Bright Holiday starts November 25th at 12 o'clock noon Central with American Christmas Jukebox on GJRB.
Whether it's baseball, basketball, hockey, even bowling, it's covered on Gary J's sports page. I'll talk about what's going on in the world of sports all over the USA. We'll read you interesting articles about the players and even keep up with the scores of the games going on live. I'll even have guests from time to time and just talk sports. Better than any newspaper page, it comes alive. Gary J's sports page. Join me for sports page at a brand new time, alternating Saturdays at noon on GJRB. We all run a busy schedule, and maybe we don't have time to catch the Gary Russen program. Well, here's the solution. The best of the Gary Russen program, highlighting the most memorable parts of recent shows. Each podcast I will play clips of previous shows and talk about them. Watch for podcast uploads during the GJRB's podcast weekend on GJRB's public site on Spreaker. Reflecting on the past memories of past shows. The best of the Gary Russen program on GJRB.
Paul Mary on Breaker right now. Nothing local at this point, just doing straight that. and just seeing who's out there. We're just doing that, and so I'm just posting questions all over the internet and see if I get any responses. I'm doing this all over the place, so if you want to be part of the show, you are welcome to do so. And we could do that. And Gary.Russen on Skype, or you could join me on the GJRB Spreaker public site and, get in on the show. And your responses are welcome as we get here. So far, we've been staying on steady for a while, and yeah, I know. Don't jinx it. I mean, yeah, you're probably right. Don't jinx it. But let's see. We're going to call attention to ourselves along the line here. I might even do a live video just to see, because maybe I might get something that way. Sometimes what I could do is I'm going to post something here. Now, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try something here. I don't know if this is going to work or not. I can't tell you whether this is going to work or not, but I was going to try something. But I think I'm going to, I don't know whether or not that'll work. Let's see. I'm going to post here and see if maybe somebody out there might be listening to the show. So sometimes what I'll always do is go into my own chat room and post something. Let's see. Gary Russen program. The other question I had, of course, was if you were to have a chance to, if you were to own a gun, would you do that? If you wanted to get a gun, would you do that? Would you go through all that whole process of registration and everything? Yeah, that's the other question I have. Okay, let's see. Maybe we can get some responses here. I'm going to, let's see. Why don't I go there? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Let's see what we got here. And talking about the daylight savings time is, what would you prefer? Would you rather daylight savings time, keep it or lose it? Would you rather keep daylight savings time or lose it? I quite frankly would like to keep daylight savings time because, like I said before, when it gets dark early, I get tired early. I don't know, it's just me, I guess, because I just always was tired. Don't like darkness sometimes either. You know, I take our dog